Greetings, salutations on this Wednesday, January the 7th, 2026. Have I been saying 2026? I hope so. Anyway, it is 2026 and it's a Wednesday. I'm a little late to recording today because it's been so busy this morning with meetings, but that's good energy. And that's a sign of just things really starting off fast this year. Got a new client, and partnering with the studio in Manhattan, and I'll get to that in a minute, but I want to mention it's warm. It's warm. I think we're going to be, let's see, what is it? I think we're going to be, it's 48 degrees today. 48 degrees. I can't believe it. I never thought I would think 48 degrees Fahrenheit is warm, but it feels warm. And by the way, that's 9 degrees Celsius. So super excited to be in the mid to upper 40s, although it feels colder than that, and we'll take it, not freezing our buns off. Excited to meet with a client later today to go over all of their media. And so that's going to be good. On this day in 1927, so gosh, 99 years ago, the transatlantic telephone service began between New York and London. It's amazing how quickly technology has progressed, because 99 years in the grand scheme of things is a flash of time. And now, look at where we're at. Pretty crazy. Speaking on the media and communication front, I've just been almost overwhelmed with the opportunity. And I've talked about being in alignment. And what I'm finding in this phase is, number one, I've committed to not being, I think I talked about this, was it yesterday or the day before? I forget now. But that I'm going about this business venture not trying to prove that I'm right about everything. Like intentionally disregarding that as a priority. And in every conversation I've been having, it has changed subtly the way that I'm doing the conversation in such a meaningful way, which is if I have a preconceived notion, I am less likely to try and mold the conversation in a way that justifies my pre-existing belief. I can state a belief in a strategy or a point of view about what to do, how to do it, why to do it. And as the other person gives input, I'm pulling more from them about where I might be off or what might be incomplete about my point of view. And it's a subtle shift that I'm noticing, but I noticed it in a conversation this morning with a colleague, and she had a different point of view about something, and I really leaned into that, and it was very helpful to me. And I didn't feel there's no shame in that game. I mean, the faster that I learn from everyone that I'm around without becoming unmoored in my purpose, and that's the flip side of it, is when I'm feeling untethered from the core thing that's driving me, that's when I feel lost. And so I say, is this business idea that we're exploring, the question I'm always asking is, well, how it happens is very fungible, but the why of what I'm doing has to be really rooted in the same thing, which is that I'm all about helping people connect with one another. And using storytelling is a great way to do that. The exact way that we do that, there's just a million different ways to make that happen. And so that's really, really cool to be dialed into the core purpose and fungible about everything else and just in hyper learning mode. So that's really fueling me right now. I am feeling a lot of moments of overwhelm just mentally because there's too much opportunity. And I think, oh my goodness. And then I want to have everything nailed down. But what I'm also trying to remind myself is the joy of this thing is the ride. It's the building. There's so much joy in this process. I mean, there's some entrepreneurs that all they like to do is build the initial phase, and then they like to get out and then start building something new. it's kind of like there's people who love parenting babies. You know, their favorite time of parenting is when, you know, they got a newborn. I've never had a newborn, but I've heard this from other people. And sometimes later on they'll kind of yearn for those early days of having a new baby. And that's certainly not everybody, but I think of that in terms of the business too, is that some people really dig the initial building phase. And when I'm feeling overwhelmed by all the opportunity, I need to just remember this is the fun part. This could be the most fun part because it's more blue ocean. And every conversation I have is like another opportunity. So I just had a meeting just now where we talked about doing a live show from the Manhattan studio, Times Square studio, providing a new type of corporate package that's a little bit of a variant on what I'm already doing, but a little bit different and in partnership with some other people. So I can very quickly get to a point where like, oh, there's just too many things I can do and then do nothing. No. I said, the question I've been asking myself is, are these business opportunities rooted in helping people connect better with other people and build a better business that feeds humanity? Yes. Okay. So then go with it. And you don't have to figure it all out. You're not going to be able to anyway. That's a loss. That's a red herring. But that literally is the challenge going into 2026, is the overwhelm of opportunity. My goodness, the overwhelm of opportunity. What a problem to have. What opportunities overwhelm you and maybe paralyze you briefly? And how do you get out of it? How do you reset your brain to not be kind of stunned by having too many stimuli to think about? What works for you? I'd love for you to share. I know what works for me is taking a minute, checking, is this activity in alignment with what my purpose is right now? If it is, then I continue to invest in it. If it's not, I don't. And if it is, just giving myself those pauses to think it through. Don't have to solve it today. Even one day could be transformational, and let it marinate. And so often, I had this thing that I was editing, a writing project that I was editing. And one night I was editing it, and it was just like pulling teeth. It was like going to the dentist with no anesthetic, and it's just painful. Everything was painful. It was taking forever. Wasn't fun. And I gave it a little bit of time and revisited it this last weekend and banged it out in like 20 minutes. And it was enjoyable. I really like the end product. Timing sometimes is the whole thing, and letting yourself, giving yourself some time to orient you in the purpose of what you're doing, and you come at something with a different perspective, it just changes the whole game. So that's one thing that works for me. What works for you? I'd love to know. Thank you for listening. I hope this has been helpful for you. As always, be good to yourself and others, and we will catch you tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.